Hello everyone, Fluffy Cat here. Just a small reminder to everyone. Don't forget to comment and leave a like. And on top of all that, hit that subscribe button with your tongue, cause why not? Now, on to the video and have a great day. Now, normally on Wednesday, Saturday. Alright, how we doing, Rumple? The guy I always want to punch in the face? What a brilliant day! The sun is shining, the town is full of laughter, and I have my sweet princess here to accompany me. Oh, you guys are not finishing each other's sentences! Repeat. Ooh. It sounds like I'm getting easier to read too. No, you've just said it enough times that I memorized it. That means you must pay attention to my words. That in itself is a compliment, princess. It is not. Can I punch him? We are on our way to the usual store to restock our medications when a small figure leaps out through the front door. She stares at us with a lost look on her face. Rumple reacts immediately, making his way over to her with a broad smile. Madame, I can't help but notice the pained expression upon your beautiful face. Is there anything I can do to assuage Assuage? Is that how you pronounce it? Your worries. For seeing your lovely face shadowed by such sadness stabs me right in the heart. Do you even have a heart? The woman stares at Rumple, dumbfounded. His smile wavers and he takes a step back, suddenly looking alarmed. Oh, I'm sorry. It's you! Huh? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. This is awkward, madame, but I'm afraid I don't know you. What? Or do I? Do I know you? I don't know. I take a step forward and look at the woman flatly. He has been cursed. He has amnesia. Amnesia? The woman stares at Rumple, scrutinizing him. You do seem different. Changed from before, in any case. So she does know him. So you knew me before? How terrible is it of me to forget such a lovely face, but perhaps you could help me remember. The usually flirty suggestion is in his voice, but the woman seems unaffected. I can help you remember. You can? It's no wonder I can't remember your name. You have the fairy tale curse, don't you? Who is this woman? Is she a witch? You truly don't remember me? I'm sorry. The woman looks conflicted, but the expression is gone as fast as it appears. I'm Bria. I don't trust her. Your fiancée. I don't trust her. I don't trust her one bit. What? The shock is apparent on my face, but nowhere near as impressive as the astonishment on Rumple's face. My fiancé? She has to be lying. How can Rumple possibly have a fiancé with the way that he is? He is barely able to dedicate himself to a single woman for an hour. Bria takes a step forward and takes Rumple's hands in her own. You don't remember holding my hands like this when you took me to the forest and proposed to me? Wait. He took Catherine to the forest in the previous episode. And he had his hands interlocking with mine. Oh, Catherine, I mean. Rumple opens his mouth, but no words escape. He reminds me of a lost dog all of the sudden, with his eyes so wide. Bria runs her fingers over his hands. I loved you, and you loved me, and I still love you very much. I I don't remember this. How can I help you remember? Rumble's voice is faint, but he still tries to smile. Uh, the circumstances of the curse tells me that I need to remember through memories and a journal somehow. A journal? I have your old journals. I can show you the very first love letter you wrote me. I still don't trust you, girl. I still don't trust you. I honestly do not trust you at all. I don't. No. Bria starts walking, her hands still cupped in Rumple's. I stare after them for a few moments, trying to piece together what is happening in my head. I chase after them. Why do you chase after them, girl? Bria enters a house, one that Rumple stares at in awe. When she comes back out, she is holding a journal. She hands it to Rumple, then opens up to the first page. This is a little embarrassing, but there it is. You compiled your letters into a journal. That's sweet, but I still don't trust you. Rumple slowly reads over the words, and I notice the strange gaze look come back into his eyes as his expression grows more somber. This is like last time when he remembered that he was a doctor. Bria turns to me as Rumple is reading, and her eyebrows arch. And who are you? His partner. Partner? We are helping each other with our curses. Oh, you're cursed too? You poor thing. I feel like you don't mean it. Bria's voice is flat. She is glaring at me beneath her smile. I have done nothing to merit this distrust from her, because I don't trust her. That's why. And I cannot bring myself to trust her either. Thank you! At least someone agrees with me here. Bria. Rumple looks up from the journal and stares at her. Yes, sweet. Rumple's melancholy expression throws me off. Last time he was so excited when he realized he was a doctor, but now his expression is heartbreaking. I remember. I did propose to you. I still don't trust her. I still don't trust her. In the forest, when it was dark, You set up little light around the clearing. We spoke for a little while, and then when you got down on your knee, you dropped the ring. It had fallen in the roots of some tree. We only noticed it when a bird came down to pluck it out of the bramble. I had no idea what you were looking for, but I still chased after the bird. And you got the ring back, and you knew. Bree holds out her hand, and I notice a beautiful red-green gem ring on her little foot. I can't read. Oh, it's pretty! It's like his hair. Like somewhere like a mixture of his hair and her hair and a little bit of their eye color. But they're both green-ish. It was still charming though. I laughed for so long because it felt so memorable. Plucking your engagement ring out of a bird's beak. You're right. Rumble smiles, a little uncertainly. In that moment, I feel him turn away from me. He does not even realize I am there, standing with Bria. He's forgotten about us, Catherine. It's okay. Why? Why am I feeling so uncomfortable? Because you don't trust her, girl. You said you were helping Rumple with his curse, yes? She turns to me. There is no worry. I can help him now. That is what couples do. I have to force the pity out of my heart. I have to force myself to think rationally. Something still seems off about this. I know, girl. But Rumple remembers. Which means this is the truth, isn't it? But I'm still his partner. I still feel Something is wrong. I do not trust this woman. Do you know anything about him, dear? I recently learned that he's a doctor. Have you helped him regain any of his memories? Yes, one. One? She was with me when I regained my memories. Catherine is a very valuable good luck charm. Uh, okay, I won't smack you this time. Rumple flashes a small smile at me before turning to Bria. Her eyes seem a lot colder now. Tell me, what do you go by now? Until we figure out your name, I need something to call you. Rumple. Bria's cold gaze falls on me, and I can sense something in them that surprises me. Jealousy? Why would she be jealous of me? Rumple, would you maybe want to come back home with me? What? I know you must be overwhelmed, but our home might be able to help you remember some things. I'm sorry. I actually have a patient somewhere else that I need to attend to. Bree's eyes flash briefly. Her frown is there for a few seconds before she smiles again. You always were good to your patients. I'm sorry. It's okay. I understand that you're overwhelmed. But remember, now I am here for you too. I want to mend things, to make them go back to what they were before. How about you look over that journal, and then we meet again tomorrow. We can take this one step at a time. I would like that. We can get to know each other again, and in time I'm sure you'll remember what we used to have. I loved you, and I did too. I still do. A slight shiver runs down my spine as I stare at the two of them. Yeah, I feel it too. There is that uncomfortable feeling once again. Maybe I'm being irrational. I don't know. I'm going with my gut. Bria and Rumple agree on a spot to meet to go there. Bria and Rumple agree on a spot to meet tomorrow, and then she leans up to kiss Rumple on the cheek. Oh! He puts a hand on his cheek as she walks off with a gentle smile on her face. Are you okay? He looks at me, and for a few moments I feel that his gaze lingers longer than it normally does on my own eyes. Then he smiles and laughs. Of course I am, princess! I just remembered something about my own past. I'm guessing that the second entry has appeared in my journal by now. I can't wait to get back to the Martian and to read it. Bria has the rest of my journal, so I might truly be able to remember everything if I talk to her. Including your love for her? ... He sighs out before he proclaims that we should finish our errands. I follow him around the town, though the scenery lacks its usual vibrancy. Rumple doesn't speak to anyone, not even the girls, while we walk. He keeps his eyes focused on the ground, and when he speaks to the shop owners, his cheer is lukewarm at best. I try to start a conversation with him many times, but he shies away from talking. I feel like there is something that he is not telling me. You feel it too, girl? When we arrived at the Martian, Rumple quickly excuses himself, not even sharing his epiphany about his path with anyone. What has him so bent out of shape? He just regained another memory. I am assuming he is going to go read about it now. It is not like him to hide things. I hope Rumple is okay. Well, we could punch him. That always works. It has been about a week since Rumple regained his last memory. He has been meeting with Bria since then, but he still hasn't told me about the memory from the journal. He does not flirt with any girl, and when he sees me, his smile looks broken. He spends his days visiting Bria and tending to Parfait. You're worried about Rumpel, aren't you? Why would I be worried about him? ... Because Rumpel is no longer able to run errands with me, Waltz decided to take his place. But Walt's presence cannot make up for Rumpel's absence. He'll be fine, Princess. He's still figuring these things out. I do not trust that woman. His fiancée? She appeared out of nowhere. People who aren't cursed can't find the tavern princess. She would never have been able to find him. So really, the only place she could have met him was out here in nowhere. I can tell that he is teasing me, but it does little to lift my spirits. I know. Walt sighs. If you don't trust her, why not just ask around for her? She obviously does not want to talk to me. No, I mean, ask others about her, so long as you find a way to phrase your intentions honestly. I think they might understand you. Rumpel says my honesty is good, but I also know that the way I speak frustrates many people. Come on, I'll help. Oh gosh, this is gonna go terribly wrong. Waltz approaches a flower shop, where several people are gathered to look at the fresh flowers. Excuse me, madame. Sir, I was wondering if you knew anything about someone named Bria. We hear that she is engaged to a friend of ours, but he hasn't said much about her. Oh! Everyone calls me blunt, but I would never question others so openly. Does Waltz really expect the people to be so open to him? Oh, if it isn't Waltz, doing a little investigation work, are you? Just looking to find out more about someone important to a friend. Not going to put this into one of your shows, are you? Waltz raises an eyebrow and laughs. Of course not! Everyone just trusts Waltz. I suppose he must speak to people often, being a performer. They would probably never suspect Waltz to do anything morally questionable. And yet with me, they were suspicious of everything that I did. I guess it is a good thing Waltz is here. I stifle a sigh as the so-called investigation begins. But Bria, I was under the impression that her fiancé wasn't seeing her anymore. Bria, oh poor Bria, I heard the poor dear made a mistake and that her fiancé threw her out. And that her fiancé threw her out for it. Huh. Is she engaged to someone new now? I'm not surprised, given the affair that she had on her first fiancé. She had an affair! Rumpel! She cheated on you! She cheated! Excuse me, what did you just say? Oh, you aren't aware. I'm terribly sorry. Perhaps I shouldn't have said anything. You said she cheated on her first fiancé. She was engaged to some man, a doctor, I believe. He was a good man, always smiled, helped everyone, including the poor. I don't see how she would have the gall to do it, but the rumors state that she was seeing another man. Oh. I think I saw them out together sometimes. He was a rich businessman. Who was he? I believe he was one of the doctor's patients. Oh, that's cold. Did anyone see this for sure, ma'am? Oh, lots of people did. And that's why the poor man stopped seeing her. Bless his heart, he looked heartbroken. But then the two of them were engaged. So she should have been more committed to him. Maybe. Just maybe. When Bria first approached Rumple, she had no idea he had amnesia. She started apologizing to him. Was it for the affair, or am I just speculating? We thanked the woman for her help before continuing to ask around town for more information. The more we hear, the more certain we become. She cheated on him. Princess, I know what you're thinking, but it would be incredibly rash to tell Rumple about this. But she is lying to him. We could tell him in a completely rational way. I can still remember the sadness in his eyes. Maybe somewhere deep down he still knows. Did his journal entry not say anything? You can try talking to him, Princess, but without evidence, we're just going off of rumors. If you were wrong, I think that would hurt the situation a lot more. I am forced to acknowledge Walt's reasoning. We need proof. As much as I want to tell Rumple right now, I do not even know where he is. We finish our errands for the day and then return to the Martian, where I complete my chores around the tavern before retiring to bed. We need a plan. We need a plan of action. Later that night, after turning for hours in bed without any success of sleep, I make my way downstairs for a glass of milk. I stop abruptly at the sound of hushed voices. Parfait and Rumple are sitting together at a table, their voices soft. It means a lot to me that you are still taking care of me, even with everything that you have on your plate. When things are uncertain as they are right now, the little things that remain the same are actually comforting. What? No compliments tonight? He clears his throat. Lady Parfait, I always find comfort in your presence. Your heart's not in it, is it? Please don't stress yourself out trying to take care of me. I've seen the orders of the medicines and the dosage. I can take care of myself, Rumple. I owe you and Lady Delora for letting me stay here. Even now you could have kicked me out, and yet I'm still here. This isn't the confident Rumple that I'm used to seeing. It's rather heartbreaking to see you like this, you know. ... Parfait's eyes drift past Rumple, and she sees me before I can dart away. I think you're worried. You're worrying your partner too. Rumple turns in his seat and stares at me. Oh gosh. Princess, I slowly make my way towards him. I was getting milk. I'm sorry, Princess. I haven't been trying to help you at all. It is fine. Parfait's right though. It is not like you to be so pitiful. Your words are still sharp as ever. I glance at Parfait curiously. The light of the tavern lights her face up dimly, making it look more ghostly than usual. She looks sicklier. Do you think I look like a ghost, Princess? Yes. By the time night comes around, I am utterly exhausted. You said you were like this because of the Temburum Lucius you have to take care of? That's correct. I used to be able to watch over it more easily, but now with the balance between both crystals lost in the kingdom, it's getting harder. This responsibility is a big burden. It is a heavy toll on my body. But that doesn't diminish anything of my pride. I am proud to bear this responsibility. Someone needs to do it, and I am very glad I can help so many people through bearing this burden. What would happen if you just let the responsibility go? There would be even more chaos than there is now. And what of the Temburum Bearer? Would they not help you with your stress? There is no Temburum Bearer currently. What? Parfait stares at me for a few moments, a complicated expression on her face. Then suddenly she sighs. Please do not worry about me, Princess. I've lived a good life. I just want to do more good while I still live. I am very lucky to be surrounded by so many good people. Parfait. Anyway, the two of you should be off to bed soon. I can tell you're both tired. Parfait pauses to look at me, eyebrows slightly arched. Oh, but before you go, there was something I meant to ask you. Ask me? Parfait crosses her arm and looks at me terrously for a few moments. The look is so unlike her that it almost concerns me. She looks uncertain of something, though I cannot imagine what it is. What could she want to discuss with me? I wanted to ask if you were free the day after tomorrow. I am free whenever my schedule says I am. Then if you could spare 20 or so minutes, I want to speak with you about something very important. Important? I suppose you could say it is related to your curse. Fine. Parfait smiles at us both. Bah! Parfait smiles at us before walking back to her room, leaving me alone with Rumple. Rumple still smiles at me, uncertainly. For a few moments I think he might actually talk to me, but then he rushes off after giving me an apology. I watch him walk up the stairs, my heart sinking. I need to know what is going on with him. You need to gather evidence, girl! Gather evidence.